The Soviets are genuinely concerned about the problem of alcoholism. This is what Kosygin constantly talked about. And he wanted a product that he thought might divert the people from consuming alcohol, and asked a lot of questions about PepsiCo and how far he could ship it and the shelf life and that type of thing, and talked a lot about alcoholism. Matter of fact, when I saw him after we opened our first plant, I told him I didn't think we were very successful because we opened the plant at Novorossiysk and we went by hydrofoil down to Sochi on the Black Sea. And we arrived at the pier, and the mayor made this big speech upon our arrival and announced with great pleasure to me that the #1 drink in Sochi had become Pepsi-Cola and vodka.
Kendall understood one truth, that communist countries could best serve American interests as monopoly markets rather than as adversaries. Pepsi's Russian deal was announced within 2 weeks of Nixon's re-election in 1972 and was perhaps the effective beginning of a pragmatic foreign policy called détente.
It became the symbol of détente. And a lot of Soviets have said this to me, that the only thing that they saw, the visible thing that they could see was Pepsi-Cola that started during this period of détente.
But while businessmen like Kendall saw détente as a means of serving American interests, Ronald Reagan saw it as an obstacle to establishing total American superiority.
Let us not be satisfied with a foreign policy whose principal accomplishment seems to be our acquisition of the right to sell Pepsi-Cola in Siberia.
Reagan, of course, was no chimp. He'd been selling things to the American public for a long time, such as stay-press shirts, soap, the delights of smoking, and making a fast buck. But is he a Pepsi president? Or is he, like his predecessor, a Coke president? Carter, a Georgia boy, was very much a Coca-Cola president. He appointed one of Coca-Cola's lawyers to be Attorney General of the United States, and the then chairman of Coca-Cola, Paul Austin, shuttled unofficially and often secretly between the White House and President Sadat, Fidel Castro, and Peking. Carter acknowledged the political power of Coca-Cola when he said, "We have our own built-in State Department at the Coca-Cola Company. They provide me ahead of time with penetrating analysis of what a country is, who its leaders are, and what its problems are."
Jimmy Carter was a good old Georgia boy. Grew up, became governor of Georgia. But during the war,